My voice is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Before I start, any doubt? Anyone who wants to say something before I start? It will be a PPT with which I will be explaining a strategy or a plan. Because see, if you're heading for a competitive exam, which is a national level exam, and if you don't have plan, it will not happen that just by fluke you will pass some exam. You need to have a plan, you need to have focused approach, then only it is easy to pass actually. There has to be a systematic approach. You cannot assume that a miracle will happen and you will go there and you will pass. It is very unlikely. Unless and until you are prepared for that, it is not going to happen that way. Okay, just a moment. I hope everyone is aware of SSB's all steps, though I will repeat in a nutshell. And with respect to that, we will go ahead. Let me check who has got the first SSB lined up. Next 1 month, anyone has got any SSB?
Yes, sir, I have.
Omkar, when is your SSB?
Sir, 28th April.
28.
Yes, sir.
A very short duration, but
At Kapurtala, sir.
okay. You are actually prepared. Just polish it. Okay, Omkar. And whatever I am
Yes,
saying today, just listen carefully. Now, yours is a classic case. Suppose you have some plan in hand, 30 days. If I am recommending, okay, 30 days. In that also, there is a spare time. And you want to apply the similar template here. Just try and make it happen in these whatever time is remaining. When I say some practices, you can reduce it, but you cannot leave any portion um, which you are not clear and you are landing there in SSB center without clarifying yourself. It should not happen. And most of the students, especially in psychology, you assume that you know everything and you can write it because you approach it from the theoretical point of view. Yes, I am writing my stories, I am writing words, I am writing SRTs, I am writing my SDT. You must review it, at least discuss with someone. If you have done some answers, discuss with someone. Okay,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
let me share the PowerPoint. Just a moment. You are able to see some slides.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It depends upon network also. This is one template we are trying to explain, and you must be able to modify as per your requirement. Someone is going for another 1 year, someone has got time. Be systematic then. Ideally, if someone has got 1 year, then there is no question that you are not prepared. If someone has got 6 months, no question and no excuse that you are not prepared. My take on SSB is probably even 2 to 3 weeks is enough, provided you have some prerequisite criteria which is naturally with you. Some of the qualities when we say OLQs, They are very important. There is some mindset, there is some approach, that is also important. Can you see next slide where it is written Chetwood Credo?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay,
Now
Now it's
visible, sir.
available, sir.
Available,
okay.
sir.
Every time when I go to next slide, I will have to come out and again go for presentation mode. So I hope you are able to read Chetwood Credo. Whenever I speak about some strategy or defense oriented approach, I generally highlight this because your mindset has to be tuned for this. Sir Philip Chetwood, General Philip Chetwood, had given long back this statement, which is the attitude and approach of potential officers of armed forces of any country for that matter. And to my understanding, it is applicable at all levels, at your family, at your group, society, state, or even from the humanity point of view also. And that is what is our culture also tells selflessness. We always assume our self interest at the last. The safety, honor, and welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. If you remind yourself that you need to take care of your nation first, you need to sacrifice for your nation's development, you need to do some duties and actions for your national interest. You may be thinking that what I can do. You, as a student, also can align your thought process for the nation's welfare. When you are disciplined, when you are in your thought process, if there is a nationhood, national spirit, every time you talk and you are not criticizing anything and everything of government, that means you are okay. Nowadays, the threat and the challenges because of too much of social media exposure, you may get biased depending upon your network, which kind of group you are in. There may be some messages which are influencing your mind. You never know how you are getting indoctrinated towards wrong psyche, wrong line of thought. My recommendation is when you are students, you must be very, very neutral. You should not have any political ideology. Of course, if you want to join defense forces, then in your entire service, you have to maintain that. So, this kind of mind tuning you must have. My nation comes first. Whichever government is in center, people have elected it. I will respect that government. I don't have personal likings or dislikings. I have one thing, that faith in constitution. If today someone is sitting on my top position, I have to respect. And that is what is military ethos are. You don't have choices for your bosses. You have to accept. Let it think on family front. You never question your father or mother. Why you are my father or mother? It is a natural happening. You got birth in a particular family and you started liking your parents. You started liking your close relatives because they are something which is naturally coming to you. If similar attitude is developed, not having too many choices and biases, then things are okay. And when you start assuming that you are a potential leader, the next statement, the honor, welfare, and comfort of the men you command comes next. This is particularly for defense forces or in any organization where you are leader. But at your level, if today you are a student, you must be thinking good about your friends, families. Small, small sacrifices, you must be able to do it. For example, there is a guest in the family and Atiti Deva Bhava. This is our culture. And you say that That guest will sleep in my room or my bed, that guest will utilize, and I will adjust. This small kind of thinking will make you align to these requirements. You must be the first one to take initiative, to propose something which is in the interest of the family at family front, in the group, your friend circle. You must be the first one to take on small sacrifices. And sometime back, I had taken one lecture how your thoughts become your destiny. This is very important to understand. Some of you might be thinking that OLQs I will try and learn. That learning may happen, but it needs in actions. You may be understanding all of these qualities, but if you are not following it in letter and spirit, no use, because you will be caught in SSB. You will be exposed, and then you will not come to know what went wrong. So, the most important thing we start is trying to imbibe some of the qualities and cross check whether I am able to implement it in my life in day to day activities. You cannot be selfish and dream of becoming defense officer. Of course, at your stage, there are some childish behaviors. That is okay, but that needs to be controlled slowly. Your own ease, comfort, and safety comes last always and every time. This is exactly you need to feel from within. Suppose you don't become defense officer, but you stand true on these statements. I'm telling you, mark my words, you'll be a successful human being. You will not leave this world with lack of satisfaction. You may be having more satisfaction than those who made to defense services. There are enough examples where someone missed the primary aim, suppose defense officer, a boy or a girl not making it. But if that person is walking on a correct path, that person is more satisfied, more successful, and shaping the life beyond imagination of all. So, my humble request to you all is understand these things because you just started your life. This is just a beginning. Yesterday, we had our school get together in the form of IPL format. So, we came in the morning 3 o'clock after playing those night matches. And it was a flashback. We left our 10th almost 29 years back, 30 years. Our batch is 93, 10th batch. So you are fortunate. You may not be realizing it today that you are in that age where you are just starting. Some of you might have finished graduation. Don't assume that you are too old or you are too grown up. There is every opportunity in your life, every dream possible in your life. Just open your horizon. You never know. Some people start life at 30, some start at 35, some start at 20, and there's hardly any difference because thereafter the pace is very funny. Someone started at 20 and got halted at 20, 35. Someone started at 35 but took such a vertical step or the graph and bypasses everyone. So life is funny. Keep your dreams open and help yourself. You must be the best friend to yourself. Try and understand these things in reality. How can you help yourself? Because in this age, frustration, stress is more, especially given the scenario that you are exposed to social media. Every day you open a newspaper, the youth surrendering to life is a very sad news to read. There are many youth who feel distressed, giving up, surrender. That is the last thing one should think. There is enough to conquer, there is enough to explore in this life. So, whatever little bit sad thought comes to your mind because of maybe one exam failing or not making it to one exam, just push yourself that this is just a beginning. Your time will come. Okay? Any doubt? I need to ask this question because I must know that I'm connected. Someone to
No,
acknowledge?
sir.
No, sir.
The audio is okay?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So,
Audio is
Okay.
Yes, sir. Clear and good.
We will rush through the requirements and then we will discuss the plan. This is the first and foremost requirement, understanding OLQs, which I was talking when I talked about Chetwood Credo. And maybe after 20, 30 years, you will realize okay, life is all about, or leadership is all about these things. Okay, just a moment. If someone wants to join, I have to again come back and okay, just start thinking big. Assume yourself as a leader. You are in that age bracket. Start assuming yourself as a potential leader of tomorrow. That is secondary. If you land in defense forces or you land in corporate or you land in any sector or you are freelancer, entrepreneur, whatever it is. These are the core values, core things if you want to become something special in this life. And from that perspective, this is the most important thing to start with. Some of you might be understanding, okay, I know what is OLQs. Check your thoughts. Try and remind yourself this is something which is unending. Today also I'm trying to understand because every time I read these qualities, it unfolds some other meaning, some other dimension to it. It's so interesting. Apparently, they are very easy to understand, but they are very, very interesting when you explore them. There are four groups: planning and organizing, social adjustment, social effectiveness, and dynamics. These four groups try and understand how they are applicable to you. A leader has to have the ability of planning and organizing. A leader cannot bank upon someone else because there are people who are looking up to this leader. Whatever position, you may be having 10 people under you. Classically, if you go into defense forces and at junior level, there is a small team. You become a platoon commander at the first step. You have almost 30 people under you, theoretically. Or you lead a team, small teams. It starts with that, and tomorrow you may become the organizational head, chief, the entire organization you are heading. But then there is a evolution of your leadership qualities. You understand, you imbibe more on the path of development. So, power of expression, effective intelligence, reasoning ability, organizing ability. I take separate classes on this, so I will not go into details. But my request if someone is getting stuck in understanding these qualities, you must discuss with someone what exactly it means in real life. Suppose someone says you have to have effective intelligence, you must check what exactly it means on ground because SSB is looking at it when you conduct yourself there. Unless and until you understand these things, okay, how exactly it translates on ground, you will not be able to display it or it will not come to naturally to you. The defense requirement is social adjustment and social effectiveness because you are operating in a very, very diverse culture. And so is the case with entire India, especially in our setup. We are a very, very diverse nation. Even in your family, you look up to your father and mother how well they show their leadership qualities. They may not be theoretically discussing it, but they are displayed everyday life. How they adjust, how they effectively apply themselves. So social effectiveness and social adjustment is key from the human resource point of view. The armed forces is all about human resource. Technology is secondary. A man behind machine is the winning factor. You give a missile or a fighter aircraft or whatever uh, best of the equipments to the human being, and the human being is not fit or not managed well by the leaders, that war cannot be won. Ultimately, the leadership brings success. You have to have these qualities to organize your team in a good shape. Firstly, yourself and then your team. Okay. So, the dynamics is particularly your own qualities, determination, courage, and stamina. A leader has to be first fit mentally and physically. Then that person can exert similar qualities or influence or motivate these subordinates. So I'll not go into details, but I am highlighting this as a first requirement because your planning has to start with this. It has to start with this. Any question on this? I think OLQ I have discussed many times, so I will not elaborate further here. Any question, especially
No,
someone who is new and trying to just cope up with this? Anyone? I'm audible?
yes, sir, you are
Yes,
audible.
sir.
Okay. So next step is when you are in the course of preparing yourself for the defense services, you must feel that how you are organizing yourself. Just a moment. You are able to see slide where it is written U plus OLQ.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If your screen is stuck, please remind me so that I just come back and then highlight again. You have to understand that you are being tested. With respect to what? With respect to this very important factor. SSB, when we say it is not a theoretical test, it is what? It is it is a practical screening, or you are being viewed from three different angles. There is one person who is interviewing you in person, and he is noting down out of those 15 qualities, he is weighing you. He's trying to weigh you that how you stand on those 15 qualities when he is interacting with you in person. So when you finish with your interview, that person has noted down, okay, this is my assessment. There is another forum where you write your psychological tests. There are four sets. All those four sets are deposited, and the psychologist evaluate your written part, and that person, without seeing you, just based on your handwriting and your answers, assessing you. How do you stand on those 15 qualities? And there is third person who is taking you along in a group, approximately 10 students, and through those 9 tests he is also making his or her assessment. Okay, okay, how do you stand on those 15 qualities? Three environments: one just straight one-to-one interaction, second one in a group activity, and third one in a written part, which is against the time. You write against the time, you perform against the time, you answer against the time in interview. You don't have luxury of thinking too much. And then there is assessment of your OLQ. You with your OLQ, there has to be a perfect correlation, a near perfect correlation, and they are deciding your personality, whether it is matching the requirement of SSB, whether you fit into their overall scheme. The more you understand this, that when I enter into the SSB gates, I am being evaluated on some qualities. So I need to be firstly confident about those qualities. I need to understand every test, how it is conducted, and just be natural in that. Every time I repeat that this is something like a sports event. You enter into a field, you play. I am using a word play. It is exactly to be taken that way. You actually play, and you play, perform, and you get out or you come out as man of the match, something like that. So you should not be worrying too much. Take it in a sporting attitude. There are enough reasons when I say take it in a sporting attitude. You yourself, many of you know the factor that last time someone got screened out, next time got recommended, or conference out, last time got recommended, got merit out, next time goes and gets stuck. What all is reflected in this? This is exactly something like a sports player experiences in life. There is no guarantee before any match what could be the outcome. It is your belief system in you when you enter into the field that will help you. You see Mumbai Indians in the ongoing IPL, same team, highest time champions, I think 5 times, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Six
Yes.
matches lost, not opening the account. Is there any problem in the team? No. It is just that application, correct application, which is not happening. This is exactly you have to see when you go to SSB. I'm not saying about CDS or NDA return or AppCat return. Your attitude when you enter into the SSB, I'm talking about that. This is the way you must start thinking. I hope I am clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Just a moment. Next slide. Okay, now we will come to the number of tests and then we'll go to plan. You all know that there is a screening test, there is a verbal, non-verbal test, PPDT. Then there is a psychological test, SDT, SRT, TAT, WAT. So if these are the tests, make a sequence of it, make a plan of it. You must feel that for each test how you are going to make your strategy. Just a moment. You can see day 1 and day 2. All of you can see day 1 and day 2 which I have listed out.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
it may happen that on
Yes,
day
sir.
one, day one only screen psychological test may start. At times, it may start. This is typical setup where ideally it should go on day two psychological test. First day screening happen. The screening recommended students are told to come to barracks and settle down, or immediately in the evening they may call you for psychological test, and it is happening more often now. It is not day two, it is generally day one many times. Am I right, Nikita? Anyone who has gone recently for SSB, the
Sir, it's
psychological?
happening on.
Sir, day one only. In Air Force Board only, the psychological test happen on day one.
Yes,
Else in normal SSB, it happens on day second.
yes. You must be prepared mentally that on day one, because what happens, there are some silly mistakes. You get recommended through screening and you are overjoyed. You are not in senses. And immediately you are told to appear in psychological test and you are not in control of yourself. This is going to affect your performance. You need a cool head. You need to remind every time that I am into the next stage of test. Your tests are not over. And this kind of mental tuning is very important. You must remind after every test within psychological test, if your WAT has gone well, then you have got TAT, then SRT. You must remind yourself, okay, I handled one subpart. Now it is the next. I must be under control. Whether it has gone so well or whether it has gone so bad, it should not affect you. You must practically feel it, because unlike in theoretical exams where you solve a paper or there are two papers on same day, here it is something different, because your personality may get affected and you may get screened out or conference out because of these silly mistakes. Okay, it happens because of that. Many a times after screening you feel so overjoyed that you lose control of yourself and your performance is affected. And it happens very naturally, because there are suppose 300 students reported on screening day. There was so much of anxiety and so much of ifs and buts, and suddenly there is a result that you got screened in. There is every reason that you lose senses, you lose control, you feel that you are done and won something, but you forget that this is just the beginning of that entire SSB. Similar is the case in the next stages, where you finish with psychology, it is beyond your expectation, it has gone well. Again, there is a chance you lose yourself, or psychology you missed one odd part very miserably. Suppose SRT you solved only 32 and you had a target of 40, 45 minimum, and you have been doing practice like that. It should not carry in your head. Whatever has finished, finished. Just forget. And that is why every time I remind you, it is a sports. Whatever has happened, just forget. See what is balance. Just focus on that. Because that is how you win matches. You can't repent what could have happened. You cannot think like that. What can happen in future tests, that is only the worry you carry. And you must apply yourself correctly. Okay. Next slide. You have got lined up day 3, where it is
yes,
Yes,
group
sir. Yes,
discussion. You are able to see slide.
yes, sir. Day 3 and day 4.
I'm just listing because I have given hours to this in the next phase. That's why I'm listing, and some of you may not be really aware exactly how these tests are. So day 3, ideally speaking, it may vary here and there. Group discussion, group planning exercise, PGT, snake race, half group task, or lecturate. After this, there are individual obstacles, command task, final group task. So these are the tests. Interview can happen on any of the day where your other tests are going on, especially GTO. You may be called before, in between, or at the end of the day for the interview. So these three tests, how we should now make a 30-day strategy. Let's discuss that. Okay. before I move to 30-day distribution of hours and all. This is a very classic day, conference day. If you are reached till conference, I am of the opinion it's a very, very big day for you, because this experience itself is an achievement. This is a very, very memorable day for anybody who has gone to SSB. Whether you get recommended further or not, just forget about it for time being. But let me tell you, if you reach till this stage, you have achieved a lot. This is a lifetime experience. You have achieved a lot. It will change you. There will be difference in your personality if you have gone through this entire 4 5 days cycle. You will be a changed person. You may not be realizing it. You may be focusing after not getting recommended on your failure, but there are some changes in you. Feel about it. You all must feel about it. Okay. Now I am assuming 30-day strategy based on 5 hours per day study. And I am assuming that you will be able to devote 150 hours for 30-day strategy. Anyone of you who feels this is not possible? Anyone? So I assume it is very much possible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. At your stage, many of you have given maybe engineering entrance or whatever other entrances in your initial life, or 10th board, 12th board, all those scenario where you have really proved that you can study 10 hours, 12 hours also. So a 30-day plan with 5 hours per day is a very, very normal scenario. So we will count on 150 hours, and let's see, because I feel that not more than this is required. Yes, revision and all that has to go on. So first thing, before we start for those 150 hours journey, 150 hours if you see is as compared to our life is nothing. If you are into a stage where your career is just ahead of you, and if you are ready to give 150 hours to build or to set the foundation of your thousands of hours of life, what you are exactly doing? If you are focusing on 150 hours, a very, very focused approach, you are actually seeing yourself, pitching yourself, or elevating yourself to a level which is so proud for yourself, your family. It's a very, very dream field when you get selected, when you get placed into such kind of place, position, the honor which comes with that, the life which comes with that, the dignity, the pride of uniform or honor of uniform is unimaginable. It's very interesting to feel about it. So one must be ready for 150 hours dedication, commitment. And this is, I'm talking on a plus side actually. Even this is more than enough. Maybe on a plus side, and I'm very confident about it because I see my preparation probably. I don't know whether I have given 150 hours in my time. That time was different actually. No internet, nothing. We used to study from whatever written things are there. So no media was there, no YouTube, nothing. Today, your generation has got overdose of information, and that is how your hours are very difficult to judge. You have to study more because your wastage of time is more. So counting that, we have taken to 150 hours. So I request again, very, very sincerely, focus 5 hours on understanding OLQs. I am giving 5 hours to OLQs. Every quality you must feel how exactly you are correlating in your life. How do you get up in the family? What is your routine? How exactly you talk to people? What is the influence of your personality in your surrounding? What kind of initiatives you take? What kind of decision making ability you have? How you adjust in your different societies? Because your friend circle is different, your college circle is different, your teachers are different. If someone is working, that forum is also important. How do you adjust actually? Mark my statement, how do you adjust? Not how others adjust with you. This is the clear difference. This is the line which we need to draw. Every time we do errors, we want people to adjust with us. We want situations to adjust with us. We want everything favorable. Then it is not the correct way of thinking. Whatever is the situation, how do we adjust with that? That is the key. In fact, that is the key to life for making it successful. Not only this small exam, I'm talking about life now. So, these OLQs, when I said in the initial part of this session that this is about life, you may or may not succeed to become defense officer, but you will certainly succeed in your life. So, from that perspective, also give some more time to these OLQs, understanding, feeling about it in your day to day activities. Suppose you had some misunderstanding with your friend, evaluate it, why it happened, what could be the repercussion of it, what are the solutions to it, whether you should lose friend or not, that decision making. I'm just giving one example where you can check your OLQs. Can you influence that friend that, okay, this was my mistake, but this is your mistake. Let's settle down. For every activity of your life in day to day scenario, you can apply these OLQs to test yourself how you behave actually. And if you start doing that, probably you'll be larger than life then. Your personality will be amazing because this is something which, if you start at this age, will take you to greater heights. So, understanding OLQs, 5 hours theoretical, practical thinking about it, introspection. I'm saying from that angle. Okay, give. If you are 30 day, you are focusing on this thing. So at least give 5 hours. Okay, then we'll come to screening test strategy. Of late, I am realizing that some of the students are making mistakes in verbal and non-verbal tests, taking it too lightly. See, nothing is for the sake of time pass in SSB. If there is a test, there has to be a meaning. There will be a purpose. There is nothing which will not be counted. So take it seriously. So my recommendation is verbal test. You must practice couple of sets there, which are shared in our groups also. If you don't have, you can ask any member of the group, or you can ask me. These 4 5 sets which are standard, and if you do it religiously, you need not to look here and there. Then you can easily solve it. Time factor, because why you should solve? You may be knowing answers, but the speed is very important. 2 hours, suppose for 3 days, you do verbal test. That's it. Non-verbal test, similar strategy. Anyone who has easily passed screening feels that more hours are required. Anyone. Vikas or I don't know who all are there now. The list is not in front of me. Anyone feels more is required. I don't know. I think disconnected, na? Okay. Okay. I'm audible now.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Audible.
Okay. You heard till OLQ 5 hours.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Screening test strategy I had moved on. You did not see it.
Sir, you are discussing about that problems with friends.
Okay. Okay. I'll again come back to that point. When I said 5 hours required to start with for understanding OLQs, what does it mean actually? You must connect it on ground. Every activity, you must feel, where do I stand on my OLQs? How do you behave in your family? Just evaluate. When you understand these 15 qualities, it will automatically click to your mind that yes, here I am lacking social adjustment. When we say social adjustment, it starts with family. Even before that, it starts with you. There are issues with yourself. There is a dichotomy. You plan something and you are not following it. So you struggle for yourself also. So you can actually correlate why I'm not able to do it. Is it a lack of determination? Is it that decisiveness? Is there any problem with planning and organizing with myself only? So forget about planning and organizing in any organization. So that is how it is interesting journey. Correlate these OLQs with yourself, with your family, with your friend circle, with your society. Then automatically things will happen. It will be very natural. It will come easily. It is not theoretical that I know OLQs and I will apply there and I'll do it. For some students, it may happen naturally, and that is why it is a natural test. But some students need to understand because they are from different backgrounds. Some people may not be having those so much of exposure of social environment, may not have lived that kind of outdoor activity life. Someone who has played, someone who has been into hostel life, it comes little easily for them, but not with everyone. Even in those categories also there are some negatives who cannot pass this SSB because they are disturbance maker, trouble creators, non-adjusters. Theoretically, SSB looks forward. Those who stand true on these OLQs, they will be future great leaders in the defense forces. That is how the importance is given. Of course, there also after joining defense forces, then there is a different journey. Some people may go in a correct direction, some may develop something non-desired, but that is we will not discuss. So I hope you understand the importance of OLQs not only for SSB, for your own life. I gave you example. You planned something for yourself, whether it is your schedule or something, and you are not able to follow it, then there is lot many OLQs exposed. Your own planning and organizing going wrong. Your determination is at question. You are actually not an organized person. Understand it from that perspective. If there is any argument in the family with any relation, mother, father, brother, sister, how do you handle that situation? Check your OLQs. What are your negotiation capabilities? What is your social effectiveness? Those qualities you will test. How effectively you apply yourself in a social environment. Okay? So I hope you are clear that OLQ is a very, very important foundation to start with. Now coming to screening test, you are able to see a slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Of late, verbal and non-verbal tests, some of the candidates took so lightly that I felt this is also one of the reasons for not getting recommended at the screening test. So I feel you must at least solve those sets which are there in our groups. If you don't have, ask those copies within the group or you can ask me also. These are standard sets. You must practice. And 2 hours per day, 3 days, 6 hours is enough to my mind for verbal and non-verbal. 6 hours. Solving. You must practice because time is a paramount factor here also. Some of the students are not able to complete despite the fact they can do it because they did not practice. At times they give less time. You cannot complain. If you know that 20 minutes are given and if they close it in 15 minutes, you can't raise question because those settings, it is their prerogative, their discretion. You cannot protest. So you must be prepared for worst. The speed is very important. It will come with practice. Anyone who feels 6 hours is not enough, 6 hours for verbal and 6 for non-verbal. I think those sets, if you practice, anyone who passed screening, I feel it is okay. Someone to acknowledge? Let me see who all are there. Tejas, Chetan, Kumar,
Yes, sir. Seven.
Yes, sir.
Vikas. See, even if you are done earlier, but you still need to practice it. Okay? You can't take it lightly. You cannot say that I will handle it. I have done it last time, 6 months back. Before your SSB, you must be again solving it. You may not do all sets. You must do at least 1 or 2 sets. Now coming to the most important thing,
Yes.
picture perception and discussion test. Firstly, to understand each test theoretically, what is this test? You must devote time to understand what exactly is this. So, picture perception and discussion test, if you are just starting, you must read it, the requirement, or you must see a video on YouTube or somewhere. Okay, what exactly is this to understand? So, maybe 2 hours is enough to understand about this test. My recommendation is you must practice at least 10 times a timed PPDT in your own time, but it should be strictly as per the timing. So, as per the timing, if a picture is flashed 30 seconds, you write in 4.5 minutes, and thereafter, immediately do narration. Even if you do it at your own level or in a group, you may be thinking कि मैं कर लूंगा या कर लूंगी. Things doesn't work that way. Your own body language, your confidence, it will be so natural there unless and until you speak out in some forum. At your own level or in a group, you cannot have that confidence. You see net practice. Again, I will come to sports. Sachin Tendulkar till his retirement day never took it granted that I don't need net practice. This is net practice actually, and it will be placing you in a very very comfortable position, and natural body language comes out if you practice it well. See, 150 hours if you are ready to give, then nobody will stop you from passing, because there you many times suppose you go there and operate in SSB 5 days. I'm telling you, there are many moments where you don't know how exactly you behaved, despite the fact that you were deliberate. If you practice it well, it will go well. If you don't practice, you don't know what kind of meaning your body language or the performance has given. So you have to have a habitual thing. So it may not become a very very ideal habit, but practices will give you some advantage, some natural tuning to your body and mind. So 10 practices I am recommended. You do one practice. I don't think 30 minutes से ज़्यादा चाहिए उसके लिए. You decide, okay, I have to do one PPDT today. You pick up a picture, you put a timer, or for that matter, it is there on YouTube channel also. So you practice it, you narrate it, because narration is one of the most important phase of your screening, where you are actually deciding or giving the panel a chance to select you or reject you. So if you are practicing, okay, story write कर दिया और narration नहीं किया, why are you taking chances? Narrate it, practice that way, मन में नहीं, बोल के, loud, do it. You will not fall short of words then if you practice it well. You will come to know where are the difficulties, where you get stuck. It is better. I hope I am clear on this. So out of 30 days, even 10 days,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
you do half an hour practice for PPDT, because see, if you don't clear screening, this is my biggest worry actually. Best of the students at times get rejected from screening. This is my biggest worry. You can't take it lightly. Okay. So if I say for preparing for screening only, I feel in terms of hours, it comes out to 19-20 hours. Let's be professional now. Am I giving enough time to each test, verbal test, non-verbal test, PPDT? We should be sincere to ourselves, committed to ourselves. Okay. Now I'll come to next. Psychology test. Many of you may think SDT, last moment में देख लेंगे. Decide on a particular day, discuss with friends or anybody. Devote at least 2 hours to formalize your SDT. I am giving you minimum 2 hours, so that you are clear what you write, because you have to read again. You must know what is your SDT, because this is very important. There is nothing which is unwarranted there. You are handing over your own SDT, self description test. It is a reference point. So don't take it lightly. If I ask someone, forward your SDT, it should be ready. Similar is PIQ. 2 hours minimum you must give for making your own SDT, because you are going to repeat there. When you travel during your SSB journey, you must revise this SDT or some of the things, because it should be fresh in your mind. You will be writing there in a time bound manner. Every word should come the way you planned, and you must validate it. How is your SDT? Okay. Similarly, WAT, to understand that test, 2 hours. Okay, what is this? What is the requirement? Theoretically, you are just analyzing what is WAT. I recommend for WAT, SRT, and TAT at least 5 practices. When I say 5 practices, it is timed 5 practices. So one practice of WAT will take 15 minutes. And if I give 1 hour, for what? Suppose today you have planned one WAT practice. In 15 minutes, you will write, but 45 minutes to read it. Read. You must read your answers. And if you read and discuss with someone, nothing like it. Small, small issues, you will realize that there are so many spelling mistakes, there are grammatical mistakes, handwriting is not coming up the way you would desire, there are incomplete sentences, there are incomplete meanings actually. At times you wanted something and you wrote something. Meaning has got diverted actually. This happens. And it's an interesting journey actually. You are testing yourself. It's a fast thinking. It will not go west in your life. This psychology test, when you practice it, I am telling you, you are actually getting polished. This is not a simple exercise. All this WAT, SRT, TAT is a power of imagination, power of expression in writing, because it is against time. Not everyone can do it. So just analyze 15 minutes of WAT, but you take another 45 minutes to just understand where are the mistakes. Very important. Similar is SRT. I'm giving you again similar thing. Okay, 2 hours, understand what is the requirement of SRT. Many of you know it, but still introspect. Again, 5 practices. One SRT takes 30 minutes, complete set. And many of you do mistake, वो time bound नहीं करते हो ना. It is a very very dangerous thing, because you never know when you are given more time, a thought will come, a reaction will come, a story will come. But when you are not given time, something else will come. So why not to practice realistically? So when you finish with your one SRT set, again, one practice I gave 2 hours, 1.5 hour. Those missed SRTs, suppose you are not able to complete, now complete it, at least in mind while reading. Again, your handwriting, your grammatical mistakes. This is how one practice should encompass. It should be a complete practice actually. You are introspecting your own answers. And I'm telling you, it will boost your performance. It will polish. It will refine. So that is how TAT also, similar strategy. A TAT one practice takes 1 hour. Your 12th story is common everywhere. Don't, maybe if you do 5 practices, try 2 stories. 12th story I'm talking about. Don't have too many variations. 11 stories you must evaluate with respect to picture. When you gone through that entire exercise, now again see that picture. Now again correlate. Could you incorporate entire observation? Could you take cognizance of every aspect of that picture? Could you give a lead character the amount of task and strategy and everything is now satisfied? Now it will be a picture and your portion. you must evaluate. You must ask yourself what was seen, what could have been the immediate past, and what could be the immediate future. You must ask yourself. This is how you must practice. Because you might have written something. I'm telling you, I'm 100% sure you will realize कि I should change. I should bring some changes here and there. And this mental tuning will help you in actual SSB. This realization, self introspection, will correct you automatically and that will become natural. So, if this is the methodology, it comes out to around 33 hours. So, for psychological test, if you need to remind yourself, okay, I need to plan 33 hours, it is not a big deal actually. If you do a haphazard way, in a non systematic manner, you might be doing 40, 50 hours, but have your own strategy actually. Any doubts so far?
Sir, I have a doubt regarding self-description.
Yes.
Sir, when I'm writing my self-description, so I'll write my perspective of myself or my perspective of what my parents think about me or what my friends or maybe colleagues think about me. So, when I'm writing it, am I supposed to write only the good traits or the good qualities which I see in myself, or is it okay to write the negative ones as well? Because considering that it is my perspective of myself, I'll be considering the good qualities more or in a better amount than the bad ones. So, what exactly do I write?
Okay. Ideally, we say that you must speak to your parents, your friends, teachers, ideally. And if there is a probability that one or two points will be very common. It is related to temperament, it is related to laziness, it is related to maybe um, decision making. So generally it is laziness, temperament, and these points are very natural. You must mention if it is so obvious that every person is highlighting, then there is no point hiding it. There is no point hiding it.
Okay.
Okay. So it is better we highlight it. It is better we
Yes, sir.
highlight it, but we must know
Yes.
what are our weak points so that during interview or in psychology we are aware of it and it will automatically translate in your reactions. I'm telling you, it happens that way. If you are aware of your weak
Yes, sir.
points, you compensate it automatically. And that is how this exercise should help you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You must highlight. Yes,
Yes.
you must highlight in a silent way. You must keep it in a simple tone.
A
You
subtle
should
manner.
you should not give impression कि मेरा कुछ नहीं हो सकता, मैं सुधर ही नहीं सकता. ऐसे टाइप नहीं होना चाहिए. It should be like, for example, laziness. My parents think I need to improve upon my punctuality. This is the similar way I'm highlighting my laziness. I'm not punctual. Why? Because I'm
Yes, sir.
lazy. My parents always advise me to get up early. So it will be highlighted somewhere in your schedule. Suppose interviewing officer asks your schedule, it will come there. Sir, I get up at 7:30 or 7 because you are late person who starts morning activities little late. तो ये कोई छुपाने वाली बात नहीं है. And it is not against you also. In this age it happens. You may be studying till late night and that is how your schedule is. So let it be natural. If you are not getting up in day to day life at 5 o'clock and just for the sake of it you are saying कि मैं 5 बजे उठ जाता हूँ उठ जाती हूँ, no point, it will be caught. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now coming
Thank you.
to GTO strategy. Group discussion. See, if you can do 5 group discussion practices, I am assuming on that scale, realistic group discussion practices. Group discussion can be 1 or 2 on a single day, and elaboration on this. You must ask the other members what improvement I need. If possible, record those videos, and then with the help of video, discuss there. Okay, how I am, because one practice you will come to know. Okay, I am sitting like this, I am looking like this, my facial expressions are like this. Today technology is there, utilize it. Someone can record your group discussion. So maybe 5 days, 1 hour you give, and that is enough to my mind. Group planning exercise, again a similar thing. Firstly, theoretically, I am saying to understand what is exactly the requirement of group planning exercise. Give 2 hours to understand. See ready-made solutions. There are YouTube things also, and even we have conducted it. So you must understand. Okay, what is exactly the purpose of GPE there, and then 5 practices on a plus side. 2 or 3 is also enough, but I am taking it rational of 5. But then once you practice, there will be mistakes. Feel about it. Then coming to PGT, obstacle race, half group task, individual obstacle, command task, final group task. I have got a common strategy. Firstly, put them in one group, feel about it, see YouTube videos, picturization, how exactly it is. So I feel 5 days, if you give 2 hours video watching, YouTube video watching, it will give you fair idea, and imagine yourself in those shoes. Put yourself there. So 5 days you are giving 2 hours to YouTube watching, video watching, or if you have got some forum where you can actually practice, then do 2 practices at least. That will give fair. But to boost your confidence, I am the one who passed SSB in first attempt. I did not have any idea how is all this. Then and there one can apply. I am of that opinion. Don't be confused. Have confidence. कुछ नहीं है. GTO का the best part is before every test they brief you, and I'm telling you those instructions are key. And if you listen carefully, you will get fair hint कि कौन सी चीज से क्या करना होता है, कहाँ पे वो क्या मॉडिफाई करेंगे. Today technology is there, YouTube video देखोगे, that is also a great thing. There are many YouTube videos. So if 10 hours of video watching, if it can help you, these many tests are over. Now coming to lecturate, my favorite and very important thing from the personality, overall personality point of view. I am audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Audible.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So lecturate, I have done lecturate many times, conducted here. We will again start, maybe at least twice in a week, but time we will change. Should we start again lecturate?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
we will start.
Yes, sir.
Lecturate, theoretically understand why it is required. I am telling you, you are starting, you are starting in your life a big thing, leadership development. So if you can do it now, of speaking, leader like speaking, the greatest quality you are developing actually, it will help you tremendously in future. So understanding it, 1 hour introspection, why I should do it, how do I actually feel about it. So I'm giving 1 hour just thinking about it. Okay, strategy. how I will go about it. Okay. Then coming to practices. So out of 30 days, at least 15 times you practice a lecturate. Lecturate is 3 minutes actually, but in a group you are operating. So maybe 1 hour listening to others also, your own lecturate. If you can record it, watch it. So 15 practices. Firstly, it will give testing of your knowledge. 15 topics separate. Plan it separately from a different variety of subjects. So there is every possibility if you are choosing 15 topics wisely, there is every possibility उसी में से एक आपकी एसएसबी में आएगा, मिलता जुलता भी आ गया तो यू कैन स्पीक. So you are actually helping yourself to reduce the pressure of that uncertainty कि पता नहीं कौन सा लेक्चर टॉपिक आएगा. आउट ऑफ 4 1 तो आएगा. आपने अगर 15 फ्रेश टॉपिक किए तो डायरेक्टली ना भी आए, it will be a big help, some similar topic, because there are social topic, international topic, some political and development related topic, strategic topic, technology related topic, some economy related topic. So you pick up 15 topics, latest, and you practice. It will be a great thing. It will help in group discussion also. It will help in interview also, because this is how you are actually updating your current affair. So you must think this lecture it is actually a big leap towards SSB preparation. This is the biggest thing. And that is how it is important to my mind. Very, very important. 44 hours I am counting GTO related. And it is a majority activities are there. That's why it is coming more. Now coming to interview. PIQ I feel you must practice PIQ writing, PIQ evaluation. What is exactly your PIQ is? Just a moment. Here I am, when I say PIQ form, I am talking in the first place. Because you are giving the interviewing officer many hints. So you should be able to anticipate what kind of questions are there. Just for the sake of it, if you are writing, you are doing wrong. Current affairs, when you do lecturate, you are actually preparing for your interview. You are preparing for your interview. But again, I am giving you separate space. You must have 1 hour for at least 10 days dedicated for interview point of view, which will give you a confidence that I have covered all ongoing current topics, because you cannot land in interview without updating yourself. Firstly, preparing yourself on PIQ. It is your family background, your hobbies, your schooling, your college, your percentage, achievements, all those things. Then coming to your sports field where you write something, so you must update, because you might not be playing today, but you played and left it for time being because of studies and all. So you cannot take excuse to what is happening in that game in the today's scenario. Suppose your cricket is there, IPL is going on, or some tournament is going on. Football, if it is there, what kind of scenario is there? What is the update on football? If it is hockey, badminton, whatever it is, or your own hobbies, you cannot be cutting sorry figure there. You have to update. Current affairs is a very, very important element in the interview, where you must understand you are applying for a class 1 job and you cannot seek excuse I am not updated, especially in competitive world today. You have to be updated. What is happening in Ukraine, what is happening in Pakistan, what is now US America, what is exactly Russia is strategizing, how international relations of India is happening now, what is happening in Sri Lanka, what is happening at domestic front, what are the issues, power shortage in India now, what are the reasons. So if you analytically go, systematically go, this current update, maybe 1 year back there were some different topics, some are common actually, but there are at least 3 4 ongoing hot topics which always changes. 6 months back Ukraine was not on radar, today it is a hot topic. Pakistan is a hot topic, Sri Lanka is a hot topic, our international relations, trade is affected. So you must visualize, okay, what is now current, because that is how you will be impressing the interviewing officer. Yes, I am updated because I am aware what is happening in the world. Leaders are to be updated. Okay. Mock interview, if you can practice, nothing like it. You must practice. One practice, it should boost your confidence. So maybe 20 23 hours is, I am assuming, interview strategy. Okay. Now, if you see any questions so far, no question. Anyone? Someone to acknowledge? No question? I hope I am audible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are able to see summary slide?
Sir, yes, sir.
We had
Sir,
assumed.
as per the timing of SSB,
Yes,
sir,
yes. Omkar.
sir, as per the timing of SSB, we can adjust in the daily hours and
Yes,
the required time. Yes, sir.
yes, yes. This is one template I felt a normal student can easily plan. All types of background student, whether it is NDA, CDS, AppCAD, NCC, with whatever routine you have. 5 hours taking out for 30 days is not difficult. If someone has got 12 days, 13 days, 15 days, 20 days, 6 months, so you can reduce or increase number of practices. Okay, but you cannot leave
Yes, sir.
any untouched portion. You cannot land in SSB and write PIQ straight away there. You're gone. 99% you're gone, because today it is very very competitive. Students are very very focused. Maybe earlier times it was very easy. Easy in the sense the competition was different, very natural. Today it is maybe cosmetic, machinized. Your generation is machinized. Everyone is preparing too much. Okay, so if you now see summary, 150 hours we had taken, OLQs 5 hours, screening 19, psychology 33, GTO 44, interview 23. It comes out to 124 hours. Still, we have towards the end 26 hours revision and introspection. Whatever answers you have written, whatever practices you have done, whatever videos you feel like deliberation you need to do, you still have 26 more hours. So precisely 150 hours is not required, including revision and introspection I am talking. So in days also, within 25 days, you must be able to complete many practices. And there are 5 6 days you have for revision, including when you start your journey in train or flight, when you are into that mode. You must have your own notebooks, your own practice papers with you, because that will help. You need not to check other people's answer. Your own answers are key. You should not be relying upon how someone else is writing story, because that is not your story. You may take hint, okay, how that person has taken approach. Your approach will be with your thinking. Okay, does it sound realistic? Can you practice it? Number of
Yes,
Yes,
practices.
sir.
sir.
Number of practices you should not compromise. I'm telling you, because speed, the first and foremost thing you have to improve. SRTs 45 plus you must plan. It will come with practice. TATs completion of stories you must plan. You may assume in air कि हो जाएगा मैं कर लूंगा कर लूंगी, ऐसे नहीं होता है. Practice it. SRTs, WAT, simple exercises, and these are really simple provided you practice it. Nothing rocket science. It's a very simple exercise, very very simple. Okay, now coming to the strategy. When you do, see, when I said in the initial part, you must help yourself. You are the best friend for yourself. You must set your target. You must realize what is the priority in your life. These days will never come back. This age will never come back. If you spoil today's scenario for yourself, you're spoiling your own future. So you must understand what is the importance of today's life for you. Not only for you, for your parents, for your entire surrounding. You will change the life for everyone actually once you crack such kind of exam. You must open up your mind and eyes. Open up your thinking. What exactly you are achieving actually. When you become class 1 in India today, you are settled. You are bringing honor and pride to your parents. Ultimately, your life is lifted. But imagine the pride your parents will gain. English communication, no compromise. All of you are comfortable with that. Communication skills, when you do practices of group discussion, lecturate, it will improve. You have to have a personality which is all round. You must be opening up now. So far, whatever was your life, just come out of that. If it was all round, then fine. Further polish it. If it was in cocoon, you were sheltered, you never stepped out. This is the time to come out. Just connect with outer world. Just connect with people. Just change yourself. Bring that little bit change in you. Then it will be easy to pass. To have these kind of things, be part of a group. You can have your own 2 3 friends, room partners, or in your area or online. These activities, most of it, you have to have a group. Then only you will be able to correlate the level you have. Otherwise, in isolation, you may go wrong in assessing you. You don't have comparisons. You need templates. Someone else is speaking on lecturate, you need to compare to improve. Okay. Finally, your hard work is very important. Be ready to do hard work. Show commitment to yourself, to your will, to your dream, to the dedication for your own family, that I want to do this for my family. Success will come. Success will come in some or other form, but you should be ready to achieve it, to grab it. It will not come automatically. If someone of you in this age, even I had those dreams, fancy dreams, कि हो जाएगा चमत्कार हो जाएगा, ऐसे नहीं होता चमत्कार. For every success, there is so much of hard work. Generally, we fail to notice. We see successful people, but journey is not easy. Whether it is hero or heroine on Bollywood screen or in real life, All of them have done great hard work. They are doing great hard work. That is why they are successful. And so will be your case. You will be successful. Just put in those few hours today. 150 hours is nothing. You have got thousands of hours life, which really depends upon this foundation. Whatever routine you do today, whatever focused approach you do, you are building your own life. Any doubt? You want to be a leader. Tomorrow you will be a family leader. At least that is going to happen. Today also you are in a family. You can be a leader of your family. So these qualities will not go waste when you learn, try and follow. It is always a gain. Try and follow in letter and spirit. This philosophy of this African proverb, an army of sheep led by a lion can defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. Very apt. Always feel about it. You should be a confident person. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, means how we can shape or change our thought in a correct way, means about everything.
Okay. Very basic question. There is no set answer actually, but let's come to the root. We are animals. We are bound to think in 360 direction. 360 degree I am saying. A natural thing is generally selfish. Many a times bad thoughts will come. And here is a wisdom now. Here is that sense of realization that I need to walk on a correct path by which I will be successful. Whenever a thought comes to your mind, there has to be a filtration. And that filtration, slowly it will build up. Suppose you decide for one exam, there is always a passion, that ignition, that spirit develops. But there is another self in ourselves which pulls us back. Laziness, fear of failure, all those things are generally pulling us back. These things actually we need to filter. So when Renuka is saying how to improve our thought process or align it to correct line of thought, these small things like a thought comes to your mind, there should be immediate reaction from the mind whether this thought is good for me or not. This is very important. For example, just a moment, I'll take a call. हेलो. हाँ बोलिए. यस यस बोलिए. ओके. ओके मैं इमीडिएट विजिट करता हूँ. मैं अभी इमीडिएट रिपोर्ट लेता हूँ, विजिट करता हूँ. ओके मैं जस्ट इमीडिएटली. हाँ. थैंक यू. थैंक यू. यस यस यस. ओके ओके. ओके. Sorry. Renuka, suppose a thought comes about anything. whether it is related to any personal issue or your ambitions, sometimes very silly things. In this age, there are so many divergences, so many distractions. So you must ask yourself whether it is good for your family, whatever action that will follow up with your thought. And those follow up actions, whether they are in correct spirit of family culture. You want to become a defense officer, your decision making for your syllabus making, preparation, group activities, you must be checking every time. And if small thoughts coming into your mind and you are checking on it, evaluating it, how good is this? Suppose one of your friends says, okay, we will make a group and we will do this activity. You must evaluate how far it will be good for you. If it is giving you partial help, so that much weightage has to be given. If you don't need that practice, you must take a call by saying sorry. No, I am already doing it in this way, so I need not to spend extra time on that. So this is how a thought coming to your mind or thought coming from outside world, you should be able to deliberately think upon it. Because naturally many thoughts will come. Our mind is very funny. Good, bad, both thoughts will keep coming, cropping up. But the beauty is when you start checking your thought process, then what happens? A day will come where bad thoughts or distractory thoughts, which are actually against your development, growth, progress, positive spirit, those will be minimized. And this happens with a process. Your mistakes will be less when you do this kind of mind exercise. A thought will come, immediate, there has to be a reaction from your mind, a question in your mind. Is this thought, firstly, what actions will be required to materialize that thought? And will it be good or not? So this small exercise, maybe more examples we will be able to discuss, but time, we should not take more time. Whether it is related to your routine, friendships, parents, within siblings, whatever activities you do, review it. A thought comes to your mind of saying something, like in my childhood, one of the neighbors who was a very scholar, he had told once, okay, every time you speak, this is a very beautiful example actually. Every time you speak, there has to be a very quick calculation in your mind. What I am going to speak, is it required? Is it relevant? And if I don't speak, will it matter? This is a very quick calculation which will come in later frame. Initially, it will take time. But these simple questions, what I am going to speak, is it required? Second, is it relevant? And what if I don't speak? Whatever I am going to speak, actually. So many a times by speaking something which is unwarranted gets stopped. This is very interesting. Many times we speak and then we repent कि ये क्या बोल दिया मैंने, गलत बोल दिया, किसी का मन दुखाया. It happens actually. If there are 10 students or 10 friends are standing, and you say something, whether it is religion related or something related, and one of your friend you ignored and then realized, अरे यार इसको तो बुरा लग गया, I should not have spoken. So this is small example. This is how your mental exercise has to happen. Okay, a thought comes, evaluation of that thought. Initial days it is deliberate, then it becomes habit, it happens naturally. Okay, Renuka, it's very difficult to answer actually such questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, anyone else? Chetan. Chetan, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When is your likely SSB? Next.
So it can't surely say, sir. Like till the June it will come, sir.
Okay. See, all of you can become defense officers. There is no doubt in my mind. Just apply yourself. Yeah, you have to sweat actually. Sweating is must. अगर फल पाना है तो कुछ त्याग करना पड़ेगा. Your sweating is must. You must sweat. The more you sweat, you will test the success. Okay? Because मेहनत ही रंग लाएगी. तो हो पाएगा. Okay? Shall we end here? If there is any doubt, you can ask, or one to one, if someone wants to chalk out some plan or something, you can discuss with me. Okay? We will end here.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day.
Yes.
All the best.
Yes, sir.
Okay, bye. Jai Hind.
Thank you.